for most people interacting with like auto insurance, right? Like you have a car crash and you talk to the insurance company says, okay, great, take your car to this place and it's going to go get fixed there and we're going to pay for it. And then you go pick it up when it's done. What is that experience like for a business going through a cyber incident?
Sure. So you've turned in a claim, right? So you've called that claim event in, you've given the details to the best of the ability you have at that time. And in many cases, early on, your details might be light, they might be sparse, but you're doing your best to communicate what you believe is going on and how you're being impacted, right? So at that point, you're going to have somebody try to make a quick assessment or determination of coverage. In the event that coverage is triggered, you'll have your deductible, and that deductible will be owed to the carrier, whatever it may be, but then they are going to mobilize, right? So in most cases, if not all cases, your first response to a breach event is forensic investigation. What happened? How'd they get in? Are they still in there? What did they take? All these different questions, you're trying to answer them, right? To realize what exposure may be, particularly what exposure may be attempted to be monetized.
And so to connect back into acronyms of technology and why this lowers risk, having an EDR and a SIM and a SOC makes that forensics
a lot easier
to perform.
Yes. To connect that, you're absolutely right. With carriers, within your policy language, within the duty to defend section of your policy, there's going to be some illumination to whether or not they compel you to use their vendors. So they may have a forensic IT vendor. They may have a legal team. They may have a public relations team that are typically national vendors on master contracts that represent all of that carrier's clients in a breach event. So that may be spelled out. Or conversely, they may have something that says, we'll entertain your choice of potential vendor. However, we have some qualifications. And typically those qualifications are, if you want to hire your own attorney to represent you in a breach event, don't go hire the divorce attorney, right? Like hire somebody that actually has experience in cyber liability law. So they're not particularly tough on constraints. They just want to say, if we give you choice of vendor, please submit a vendor that's appropriate.
And this also comes into, do you have a vendor that can do incident response for you already in place? Do you already have an incident response retainer in place?
Sure.
Because then at that point, it's not like go out and find somebody that can do incident response for you. We already have an incident response retainer in place. We've already activated it. It's already coming in. The insurance company's going to go, okay, great, cool. They're on our approval list because we know them and they're big and they're reputable. And off to the races we are.